Crowdfunding, crowdfunding, crowdfunding. Where do I begin? It's a lot, but it doesn't have to be impossible. And so today I'm going to share some things I've been doing as I've been crowdfunding for my documentary, The Ties That Bind. If you don't know me, I am Lonnie Maduro. I am very, very passionate about helping filmmakers, which is why I launched a new division of my company, Blue Child Academy, where I offer educational courses because I really, really, really want to see filmmakers win. I'm in the thick of my crowdfunding campaign, and so I thought I'd take a moment just to share with you what I've been doing for my crowdfunding campaign, what's worked, what's not really working, some of the lessons I'm learning, in hopes that it will help you while you are raising funds for your film. So the first thing I did was I enlisted some support. I called on a handful of people to help me raise the funds, and I called them my pledge ambassadors. So I reached out to about 15 people. Of the 15, I think I got 6 who came on board. And they were willing to help me raise funds. Now, these are people that I know believe in my film. They believe in my cause, right? I did a documentary previously, and these people were always there. I met some of them along the way as we were touring with the film, and I know that they have raised funds for other nonprofits or other organizations that tie to the theme of my film. So that's why I reached out to these specific people. A few of them I plan to put in my movie because their stories are so amazing and I think will be very impactful. So that was also another avenue of getting them excited about coming on board and helping me raise funds for the movie. You know, I'm hoping each one of them will raise like $5,000 towards the project, towards our crowdfunding campaign. And so to make their lives as easy as possible, because they're technically doing me a favor. There's no real gain for them, right? They just believe in what I'm doing. I want to make it super easy for them to spread the word about the crowdfunding campaign and to get their network of people interested in donating. So the first thing I did was I created all the email prompts for them, all text message prompts for them, and all social media prompts for them. Meaning I created a script that they could just, plug and play, change out names, put their name in there or, tweak it however they want, but they didn't have to do a lot of legwork. And then we created like maybe 6 to 10 posts that they could share on their social media platforms and with their network. And I found that to be pretty amazing. They all were, actively sharing. I follow all of them, so I could see that they were actively sharing their posts and kind of doing their own version of a social media prompt. As far as reaching out to their communities via email or text messaging, I'm not sure, but I know they were doing the social media posts because I could see that. Out of the 6, 2 of them, I would say, really were actively bringing in funds. I mean, we're still in the process of crowdfunding, so that those numbers could change. But what I did see is that I have to constantly stay in contact with them, making sure that, they're reaching out to their network, seeing if there's anything they need, just really showing them that, hey, I appreciate you. I constantly tell them how much I appreciate them because they don't have to be doing this. And so I feel like having pledge ambassadors is great. I would definitely recommend that you make sure these are people who know how to raise funds or have relationships with communities or networks or corporate sponsors that they're willing to connect you with. And I'm going to talk more about corporate sponsors in a moment, but understand that just because you get pledge ambassadors doesn't mean you still don't have to work hard. You still have to make sure you're staying on top of them. So I would highly recommend having some pledge ambassadors. I mean, I'm still kind of feeling it out, but I did notice they help some. It was definitely helpful. And with crowdfunding, every little bit helps. It's not all one place that you're getting funding. So I think having pledge ambassadors, I would highly recommend it. Doing a soft launch. So if you watch any YouTube video on crowdfunding, they're all going to say you should do a soft launch. And basically a soft launch is that you are launching your crowdfunding campaign to your inner circle, right? Your friends and family or your personal network before you go public, before you launch it out to the general public or on social media. And so I do recommend it. Like they normally say you should have about 30%. You should raise about 30% of your funds before you go live. I think that is a great idea. However, not always feasible, right? So I will be honest, I did not raise 30% before I went live. I maybe raised about 3% before I went live. If you're a filmmaker who's just trying to keep everything together from pre-production, production, post, trying to understand location scouting, casting, even the business side of filmmaking, all that stuff, and you're just like, I don't even know how to keep all these things straight in my head, then you definitely should get my book, The Ultimate Feature Film Production Planner. This is more than just a planner. It is a step-by-step guide to thinking about how to create a business plan for your film, how to start figuring out your budget for your film, actually scheduling things for your film. There's areas to take random doodles and notes. You have areas where you can do monthly reflections to kind of pat yourself on the back with the things that you've accomplished and kind of look at what still needs to be done. You can do some mind mapping to map out things that you want to achieve. I mean, everything you could possibly need to make your film is in this book. This book is a lot. It's 299 pages, but it also is a planner. So you can schedule out your days of the week, and even has little quotes and affirmations to help keep you encouraged. So if you want to be inspired, if you're trying to figure out how to stay on task, you're just not clear on certain things when it comes to post-production, production, or even pre-production, then you want to get my book, The Ultimate Feature Film Production Planner. It will walk you through step by step everything you need to do to make a feature film. Reach out to businesses and organizations for support. So I would highly recommend this. So one thing we're in the middle of doing right now is reaching out to nonprofits, to healthcare organizations, or to private organizations that we know believe in our cause. We know they believe in the film that we're doing. And so we've created a letter, we have a whole pitch deck, and we're reaching out to these organizations to see if we can get their support. I'm in the midst of having meetings with some of these companies, so I'm hoping they help us get to our goal. I will say, if you are thinking of reaching out to corporate sponsors or any type of organization that may be affiliated with the theme of your film, you may want to consider having a fiscal sponsor or becoming a 501c3 if you're going to continue to put out documentaries on, I don't know, whatever the subject matter is. Now, I will say, you don't need to be doing a documentary to reach out to a corporate sponsor or to an organization. If your film, even if it's a narrative film, touches on the theme of whatever that organization is about, they may still be willing to financially support or invest in your film. So for instance, if your film is about motorcycle bikers, right? You could reach out to motorcycle organizations and see if they'd be interested in investing in your film, and maybe put some of the bikers in your film. That'll get them really enticed to want to support the film. But if you are doing a documentary and you're reaching out to some of these bigger corporations and health organizations, you may want to consider bringing on a fiscal sponsor. And honestly, that's for a narrative film or documentary. Fiscal sponsorship basically is you have a film and you're not a 501c3. And so this 501c3 nonprofit is sponsoring your film. So basically, if the corporation writes a check or decides to make a contribution to your film, they're going to write that check to the fiscal sponsor. And then you may negotiate a fee for the fiscal sponsor for them fiscally sponsoring your film. So maybe you say you're going to give them 5% of whatever you get, or 2%, whatever you negotiate. You're going to give them a small percentage, and then the rest of that money will come to you, right? So the check has to be written to the fiscal sponsor, and then the fiscal sponsor will give that money to you. That's what a fiscal sponsorship is. Basically, they are sponsoring you because your film also ties into whatever they believe in, right? And so if we have a fiscal sponsor, I happen to have a nonprofit called Women of Color Filmmakers. And so my nonprofit is sponsoring, or my fiscal sponsor for my documentary, which is about prostate cancer in the Black community. Well, prostate, colorectal, and pancreatic cancer in the Black community. So my film ties into the type of stories that filmmakers who are in my organization make. Our organization is about uplifting voices and telling stories of unserved communities. And so this film totally ties into the mission of the nonprofit. And so the nonprofit is my fiscal sponsor for my documentary. Whew, mouthful, I know. Fractured Atlas also does fiscal sponsorship for films. You'll have to go to their website to find out what are the requirements for them to fiscal sponsor you. But I know when we did our first film, The Silent Killer, that documentary, Fractured Atlas was our fiscal sponsor, because back then I did not have women of color filmmakers. So Fractured Atlas, you should definitely look into if you're looking to get a fiscal sponsorship, or if there's another organization or 501c3 that really believes in or ties to the theme of your film, then I would say ask them, are they willing to be your fiscal sponsor? If you, and if so, you can give them a small percentage, maybe 2% or something, for them doing that for you. So I would definitely look into that. Make a list of folks you want to ask for support and draft email and text message prompts. Yes. So just to make my life easier, because I was, I'm getting very busy between just trying to run the crowdfunding campaign, reaching out to companies, staying on top of the pledge ambassadors. It's a lot. And so to make my life a little easier, I use ChatGPT to create some of these prompts for text messaging and emails and social media. And so you do have to train it. For example, I will put in, I want to do a post for Instagram, and I want it to be about my documentary, which I'd put the synopsis of my documentary into ChatGPT already. And so I was like, I want it to be heartfelt, I want it to be engaging, and I want it to have a strong call to action. And I want to share a statistic from the movie. And ChatGPT, I want 5 to 6 prompts, and ChatGPT just came out with all those prompts, and I was able to use them for social media and give them to my pledge ambassadors so that they could post on social media. And I did that for the emails and text message prompts, and it just made my life a lot easier. So I would highly recommend. I know we sometimes feel some kind of way about, AI, but you are going to be slammed with this crowdfunding campaign. You can only do so much. So if you can utilize AI to at least help you with writing some of these prompts that you need to, constantly emailing people and text messaging people and doing social media posts, then I think this is a great way to use AI. I had 2 people who were so amazing in contributing to the crowdfunding campaign and were like, I want to help in any way I can. Those people indirectly became pledge ambassadors, right? So I sent them some social media prompts to share. One of them wanted to help me get in contact with some organizations that they think would be excited to help support the film and get the word out about the film. And so I enlisted those people to continue to help me. So really pay attention and stay engaged with those who are contributing to your crowdfunding campaign, because you can, if they're really believing in what you're doing, they could end up being pledge ambassadors for you. And that's what you want. You want people who want to support the film, because the other thing you're doing while crowdfunding is you're building the fan base. These are people who are going to be very excited about your film when it comes out. So the more you can keep them engaged, the more, I definitely email every person who donates. I've sent them personal emails and let them know how much I appreciate them. But if you've got some people who are going above and beyond, definitely tap into those folks and keep them excited about your crowdfunding campaign and let them know how much you appreciate them. I know you may have a brilliant film idea or a half-finished script, or maybe even an amazing indie film that you poured your heart and blood and sweat and tears into, that is sitting on a hard drive with no plans to make money. Well, I want to help you fix that. That is why I created the Profitable Filmmakers Challenge. It is a 5-day experience to help you stop winging it and start running your film career like a business. In this 5-day challenge, you will learn how to create a real revenue strategy for your film, understand what investors actually want, develop effective ways to get distribution for your film, and pitch your project like the boss you are. So whether you're in development or in post-production or just have an idea scribbled on a napkin, this challenge will help you take your project to the next level. we're going to be taking actionable steps. So I will be giving you homework every night that you can apply to your film project. If you're feeling stuck making your pitch deck or creating a budget or understanding the best distribution options for your genre of film, then you definitely want to register as VIP, because as VIP, you get to join the call an hour earlier and get exclusive hot seat coaching and extra templates to set your film up for success. Make sure you register right away, and I will see you in the challenge. I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see what you create, and I can't wait to see you start making money with your film. I'll see you in the challenge. Start setting up ancillary products you plan to attach to your film. Yes. So I teach my students this. You should always have ancillary products, which is a product that is tied to the theme of your movie. You should always have ancillary products when you're putting out a film. And the reason why is your film is you're basically a filmmaker who wants to make money, right? Your film itself is a product, but you want to get audiences engaged and excited about your film, right? So just like when you go see Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars fan, not only are you going to see the movie, but maybe you have a lightsaber, or maybe you have a Darth Vader mask, or whatever it is, right? You have some of the awesome gadgets and toys that are associated with the film, and then you take those right to the screening because you're excited. Maybe you wear some of maybe you dress as I don't know all the terms. I'm sorry. I'm not big on Star Wars anymore. Not like I used to be as a kid. Or maybe you dress as a Jedi. There you go. Maybe you dress as a Jedi when you go, right? So it's just because you're an independent filmmaker doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing things like this. And so whether it's a documentary or a narrative film, you should have products attached. So we are starting to develop our ancillary products that are going to be associated with our film. Whatever your film is about, you can find a product that will get people excited about it. And this is something that can help bring in some revenue while you're in pre-production or before, while you're doing your crowdfunding campaign. Another thing that we're doing to get people excited about the film is we're doing what we're calling a limited live series, where we're interviewing prostate cancer survivors and advocates and people who just work in the cancer space in general, not just prostate cancer, but in the cancer space in general. We're interviewing them so that we can attach a face to our film so people can see it's not just a movie, it is a movement, right? And I highly recommend you do a limited live podcast or a limited live series, whatever you want to call it, for your film, and be it a documentary or a narrative film. If you're doing let's go back to my biker example, right? If you're doing a narrative film about bikers and you're doing a crowdfunding campaign, then why not interview real bikers and let them share their biker stories, right? Whatever that may mean. You might even find some to be extras in your film, right? Or to have a role in your film. But not only does that add some authenticity to your film, but it gets that community involved and interested and engaged. And those are the people who will pay money to go see your film when it is released via theatrically or on a streaming platform or whatever your distribution plan is. So I highly recommend doing a limited live series. So we recorded those interviews. We're still doing some. And then right now I'm just putting them on my YouTube page so you can see what they were like. Nothing that fancy. Recorded it via Zoom, broadcasted it live on Facebook, because I know a lot of the people in the prostate, colorectal, and pancreatic space are on Facebook, right? And then I'm sharing those videos on LinkedIn because they're also on LinkedIn. So I'm making sure that I'm posting those videos where I know those people are. If it was a different subject matter, I might have did more TikTok and Instagram. But I know that people who work in the healthcare space and who run healthcare organizations, they are on Facebook and LinkedIn. So that is where I am sharing those videos. And then I'm also putting them on my YouTube channel, which you can see them, so that more people can find them generally, right? And those are longer videos. They're all about an hour long. So then I'm cutting those videos down into shorts that I will share not only on YouTube, but I'll also share them on my social media pages, on Facebook, on Instagram, because I know, and TikTok, because I know those short nuggets will really get people interested in possibly coming to watch the longer form versions on YouTube. At the end of the day, you have to remember that your film is a product and it has to solve a problem for a consumer who desires it, right? So our documentary, even though it's a documentary, about prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, and pancreatic cancer, it's a product, right? And so I have to make sure that I'm keeping my audience engaged who is interested in this product. And so sometimes that means feeling them out, finding out more about what they want. What do they want to know? This also gets them excited about my crowdfunding campaign because they're more than willing to share it, right? I've been making sure that I'm talking about it on my social media pages because I want people to get excited about the film. I've been doing video thank yous for people who who donate a certain amount, right? So if a person donated $500 or more, then I've been doing these digital thank yous, and I'm sharing, not just saying thank you to them, but I'm putting photos about them. If they have a business or if they have something that I think they might want to promote, I share about that, share their website, share what they're doing, share where people can find them, and get involved with whatever it is that they do, right? So not only was this, something that I wanted to make sure I let these people who donated know how much I appreciate their contribution, but it's a great way to help promote them, to let people see, look, this person, not only do they have this amazing business, but they're also believe in good causes and they support independent filmmakers. And that, a lot of them were like, wow, Londi, thank you so much for sharing about what we do, right? Or what I do to your community. So I would highly recommend that, whatever you want that perk amount to be, actually it was 100. Anyone who donated $100 or more, we're doing special video thank yous to. So whatever that is for you, whatever you want that number to be. And I tried to surprise them, right? So a lot of them, even though I'd written in the perks, oh, we're going to do a special thank you, I would go to their social media pages and steal photos and whatever I could find or information about their business, and then put a quick, 60-second video together. It took me no time just to say thank you. And I think that's super important. It shows that you care and that you appreciate them. So I would highly recommend you do a very special thank you or have special perks that make your contributors feel important and special, and that show that you appreciate and recognize them. Selecting a platform for hosting your crowdfunding campaign. So what I'm about to say might be a little controversial, but I think there are a lot of great platforms out there, right? If I were to recommend one to someone, I'd probably recommend Seed and Spark, just because I really like how Seed and Spark offers a lot of support to filmmakers. Some of my students have used Seed and Spark, and I like how they walk them through the process, making sure that their crowdfunding video is engaging, not just a talking head, someone just talking to the camera like I'm doing right now, but that it's engaging and that will get people excited and interested in the crowdfunding campaign. And they just help you through that whole process. So if I were to recommend a crowdfunding platform, I would recommend Seed and Spark. I think Kickstarter and all those others, Indiegogo, they're great. When I did my first film, I used Indiegogo. But personally, for this particular crowdfunding campaign, I decided I didn't want to be on a crowdfunding platform. I know this is going to sound crazy. The reason is I want to control how I get my money. And so for me, this isn't my first time at the rodeo. So I knew the work that it was going to entail to do a crowdfunding. I knew I need how to make an engaging video. I knew these things already. So I didn't need the support that a crowdfunding platform offers. So I was able to use PayPal as my crowdfunding platform. So PayPal actually has a crowdfunding option if you have a business account. I'm not sure if it works if you only have a personal PayPal account, but I have a PayPal business account. And so I set up crowdfunding on there. It works just like the other platforms. The difference is I don't have to give a percentage of the money that comes in from crowdfunding to a crowdfunding platform. Right? So if you use any platform, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, Seed and Spark, you're going to have to give a small percentage to them. And rightfully so. They are hosting this for you. They're doing this work for you, supporting you through and people who go to those platforms to look at donating somewhere, they are providing that service for you, so you have to pay for that, and rightfully so. But I didn't want to give that money, basically. And I was willing to do the work. So I use PayPal, and I'm actually enjoying using PayPal as my crowdfunding platform. It works pretty much similarly, with the exception of um you're not really able to list all your perks out, like you could. So what I did is I used my website and put all the information about my crowdfunding campaign, right? I put my video, I listed all the perks. I'm also listing there, all the donors, and a little information about myself and my co-producer, Leslie M. Green. So all that information about the crowdfunding campaign is on my website. Then I have a contribution button. So when they click the contribution button, they're taken to a form that they fill out. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I have pledge ambassadors, and my pledge ambassadors get perks for the amount of money they raise. So their perks are separate from the perks of my contributors, right? And so I want to make sure they're getting the proper credit. So each person who donates fills out a contribution form. And then once they click that, it takes them to PayPal, where they actually make the cash contribution. So it's been working for me. The other thing I like about PayPal as a crowdfunding platform is the donor can pay the fee for you, right? So there's an option where it asks them, do you want to pay the processing fee for your contribution? Some say yes, some say no, but majority are saying yes. So if, let's say, they donate $100 and the fee is $3.58, then they're actually donating $103.58 because of that processing fee. So you get the full $100 contribution, and that fee is paid to PayPal. And I liked that. If you're on these other platforms, unfortunately, that's not an option. So for me, PayPal has been great. Now, I will say the only thing I've run into is some people don't use PayPal, or they don't like to. And there is an option that if someone doesn't want to pay with PayPal, they can use a credit card. So sometimes you just have to tell people that, because some people see, oh, it's PayPal, I don't like PayPal, or I don't use PayPal. And you just let them know, oh, you don't have to use PayPal. You can donate with your credit card if you click the underneath option which says pay with credit card. So far it's been working. I've only had maybe 2 people say they don't like PayPal. And so for me, it's been working great. I will keep you posted on how I like it. But if you are someone like me who doesn't want to pay the fees to a crowdfunding campaign, and you're open to doing the legwork yourself, right? Then PayPal's great, because you control your money. Also, if you don't meet a certain deadline or goal, some of these platforms means you don't get your money. Like with Seed and Spark, if you don't reach a certain amount, you don't get your money. Kickstarter too, you don't get your money, right? And so I like that I control that, and I can extend it. And the cool thing about PayPal is, even if your end date hits, you can still get money coming in after the end date. So I can extend it again if I want to. Again, I'm in control of it. So that's why I like that platform more. I didn't mind, because I have a website. I could list out all the information. People could see that the film is legit, what we're doing is legit. And then PayPal does give some legitimacy. It's not, oh, you're sending it to my personal bank account. It's showing, look, this is an actual platform that you can see how we're raising funds. It's got the progress bar. It's got everything. It lists all the donors on rotation, so you can see other contributors or those who chose to be anonymous. It works just like any other platform. I am not being endorsed by PayPal right now. They are not giving me money. But I wanted to, share that, because so many people only hear about Kickstarter, only hear about Seed and Spark, only hear about Indiegogo, but PayPal has an option. Now, before I chose PayPal, I actually looked into my credit card processing company. So for my nonprofit and for my business, I use Square for credit card processing. And so Square actually also has a nonprofit, a crowdfunding option where you can accept donations, and it would show the progress bar and all of that. I chose PayPal though, because I've had more people say, I don't use credit cards, I prefer to use PayPal. And I didn't see on Square where I could have a PayPal option. It was only credit card processing. So to me, PayPal was a better option, because people could do both credit card or PayPal, where on Square it was just credit card. So that could change, and again, I didn't do heavy duty research into it, but I just found me having control over how my crowdfunding is going worked better for me. So do what works best for you. But at the end of the day, remember your film is a product and you have to get your audience engaged. So if you're using crowdfunding to do that, I think it's a great way to get them excited and to raise funds. I will keep you posted on how things going. Right now, we're really going after corporate sponsors and private investors. And private contributors. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. We are at the 10,000 mark. We got 70,000 to go. So we still got a ways to go for this portion of our fundraising. Our total goal is to raise 350,000. But for our first part, because we want to do some pre-production and some early filming in September. So to be able to do that and all the things that go with that, and to get our first set of ancillary products created, we're trying to raise 80,000. So we got 70 more to go. I will keep you posted on how things are working and provide more tips soon. All right. Good luck. I know it's work. There's no wrong way to do any of this. Okay. Don't think that, oh, I didn't raise 30% in my soft launch that I shouldn't do it. No. Okay. There are no hard and fast rules. What you can't do is give up. Try different things. If this doesn't work, try this over here. I'm always looking at what can I do next to get the audience excited and engaged with my film, but you gotta keep them connected. So don't give up, keep going. I believe in you and I can't wait to see what you create. I will be back to share more about how things are going with my crowdfunding campaign. See you next time.